Rue here, Be It One Dog Training. I'm coming here to talk very briefly about why secure training fields or secure fields are worsening most dogs' recall and training overall instead of benefiting it. So it's very random, I know, but the reason why I brought this up, because many people that I work with, they have come back to me whilst they're in the thick of their training, and most of the time, depending on what you come to me for, I'm going to recommend that your dog stays on a lead for a little while, and that will be for various training concerns. And what I've noticed, I've noticed a trend, which is people coming back to me and saying, oh yeah, I took my dog to the secure training field so that we could let them off the lead safely. And I will say, oh no, I said don't let your dog off the lead at all. And the reason why is because whether you are inside a training field or outside a training field and your dog is off the lead, you are giving your dog ample opportunity to practice not listening to you. And while they are practicing not listening to you, they are realizing that there actually is a lot more reward in not listening to you. So what do I mean by that? So why isn't your dog listening to you? So usually your dog's not listening to you because there is something more rewarding that they're doing, whether it be sniffing something, eating something, barking at something, lunging at something. All of these things are proving to be more rewarding than you saying, Rocky, come here, Rocky, come here. Your dog's like, no, actually, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing, and I'll come back to you in a little while for that piece of chicken that you're going to give me anyway. And what tends to be happening is that, obviously, as an owner, you get really frustrated because your dog isn't coming here. Your dog definitely knows what you're saying. Your dog 100% can hear you. They can hear you from miles away, but they are choosing at that moment not to listen to you. And then what will happen is your dog will build up a history of, not only is it more rewarding not to listen to you, when I do come back, you are putting me on the lead, you're putting me on the car, or you're just generally just being really annoyed because the dog didn't listen to you. So you end up just getting this like really frustrated owner. So your dog's weighing up, cost and reward here. Do I go back, get put on the lead, get put in the car, get frog marched home, or do I stay here, finish doing what I'm doing in a secure training field or secure field, finish doing what I'm doing, finish doing what I think is really fun, and then go back and get frog marched home and put in the boot or put in the car, wherever you put the dog, in the car, or put on the lead or whatever. So you kind of just start to, when you think about it that way, you think, oh, of course my dog's not coming back to me. So the reason why I say the training field or the secure field is hindering is because I understand why dog owners are taking their dogs to these fields, because it's what they consider to be a safe place. Yeah. Although your dog is practicing all of these undesirable behaviors, it's in a safe space. So you're thinking, I'm being a great owner, I'm letting my dog off the lead, letting him have a run, and it's in a space that you think is safe. Don't get me wrong. If your dog wants to get out of that field, or if they knew they could get out of the field, they would, whether it be jumping over it, burying under it, or if you've got a dog like mine who's just woken up, crashing through it, if they can get out. Yeah, more time. I've not seen a field where I thought, yeah, a dog definitely couldn't get out of that. They could get out. Anyway, you're doing your best as an owner, and I wholeheartedly understand the thought process behind it. But what I'm here to say is, even if your dog is in a field, it's still worsening their recall because they're practicing how rewarding it is to not listen to you. Or the other side of it is, all of these behaviors that you typically don't want your dog to do, so barking, lunging, scavenging, whatever, or if it's scavenging, your dog's off the lead, so they're far away, so they're just going to eat it quick enough before you get there. But if it's like barking, lunging, or just doing like crazy zoomies, running really far away from you. Owners typically let their dogs do that in that space because you think, oh, it's safe here, so it doesn't matter. Again, but then you're confusing your dog because, again, your dog is practicing doing these behaviors that they find really rewarding, and you're at the point where you're not even stopping them because they're in a safe field. But your dog doesn't know the difference between this field and when you're in your local park or walking down the road, and your dog's thinking, well, you let me bark and lunge and whatever when we was in that place the other day. Why can't I do it when we're walking down this busy high street, or when I'm walking through the local park? Your dog can't tell the difference. So training needs to be training everywhere. So stop taking your, by all means, take your dog to these fields, but long line or a lead. Use it as an opportunity to train your dog instead of letting your dog just run free off the lead, because you are worsening, you are literally stepping further and further away from a successful recall, or stepping further away from, not having your dog bark and lunge or chase things or whatever, chasing squirrels or whatever it might be. Because again, there's squirrels running around, foxes running around in these secure fields. You're letting your dog have the time of its life without you, running around chasing these foxes, chasing these squirrels, cats, whatever it might be that's got into that field. Your dog doesn't understand that it can't now do that in a park or in a high street or in your local area or whatever. So recall often goes wrong when your dog finds it just more rewarding to do the thing instead of coming back to you. Recall also often goes wrong when you encourage your dog to have doggy friends, because then I'll very regularly get owners that come up to me and say, oh, he loves saying hello to, dogs on off the lead or whatever. But I can't call him back. So he runs up to all dogs, even dogs that are on the lead. And obviously that's not good. Your dog can't tell the difference. Your dog can't tell the difference between the dog over there that's on the lead with an owner that very clearly has no interest in your dog running over, and compared to another dog that is allowed to play with other dogs. Hope that makes sense. So that usually is one of the biggest contributors to recall going wrong, because your dog will find it so rewarding to go and run off and play with other dogs, and you're just encouraging your dog to just build up this massive relationship with everything else in the world instead of playing with your dog. So I can't tell you the amount of times I've been out with my dog and I've got a dog that's bolted over to me, and I'm like, get your dog. And they'll say, oh, she just wants to play. And I'm like, well, play with your dog then. Like, it's not my problem. I don't want to play with your dog. I've come out with my dog to engage with my dog and to play with my dog and to walk with my dog, whether it be an exciting walk or a peaceful walk or a training walk, whatever it is. It's not my problem. So, that is like one of the biggest mistakes. People just wanting their dogs to just build up such big relationships with the rest of the world before themselves. The other side of it is humans, letting your dog just be touched by every single human that expresses an interest before you have built that relationship with your dog yourself. So of course, now you let your dog off the lead and it runs over to humans. And this is the same for fields, because I've also been told or have seen dogs will run over to the fence of the field because there's another dog on the other side of the fence and they can see that dog. So they're having a great time running up and down the fence. Everyone's seen it, where dogs are on another side of the fence and they're running up and down and they're jumping and they're playing and whatever. And you as an owner, you think, oh, it's all right because they're in the secure field. But again, your dog is practicing not listening to you. Your dog is practicing playing with other dogs instead of playing with you. Your dog is practicing not coming back away from another dog when you're calling it. So when you come out of this field, these behaviors, they're just even better. Like, and what I mean by better is better for your dog, because your dog is even more successful in realizing it really pays not to listen to you. And again, with fields, I've seen this before as well. Someone or people that, you know, really people that love dogs and whatever, they'll put their hand over the fence and stroke your dog, or they will speak to your dog or ask, oh, can I give your dog a treat and whatever, and then the owner says, yeah, sure, whatever. Again, your dog is practicing where the reward is, and the reward is away from you as the owner, because they're like, oh, well, that person's fantastic and these people keep giving me treats and whatever. So then when they're outside of this field, not in a secure field, you're wondering, why is my dog dragging me down the road? Or why is my dog dragging me to jump up on people? Or why is my dog not coming back when I've called them? It's because your dog has practiced that other people are more rewarding than you, or your dog's practiced, I'm going to go to these people, I'm going to get the reward of that person, whether it be I'm jumping up at them, whether it be they're stroking me, feeding me, whatever, and then I'm going to come back to you. Because I know that when I come back to you, you're going to give me a treat anyway. Yeah? And, you know, that's not even the worst thing that can happen. There's other things as well where people will get their young dogs or their nervous dogs and they'll just like chuck them in the deep end. They will literally just, you know, let their dog be touched by kids, play with all different dogs. And when I say touched by kids, like kids, often I get calls because someone's got a dog who is showing aggressive displays, or even worse, aggression toward kids. When I say aggressive displays, I mean barking, lunging, not necessarily escalated to aggression yet. And when I say aggression, I mean biting, jumping up on the kid, even pinning and stuff like that. So kids are kids. They climb up on dogs, they pull, they tread on paws. Kids are just kids, yeah, they do that. It's up to us as parents and adults to tell these kids, don't do this, don't do that, and whatever. And what happens is an owner will say, don't worry, he don't mind, she don't mind. And then eventually the dog actually shows you, well, actually, I do mind, and I have been trying to get away from this kid, and I've tried to tell you signs that I don't like this kid, or I don't like it when people do this, or when kids do this, or they start associating kids with, you know, pain. So, and then as the owner, you're saying, oh, she don't mind, he don't mind about the dog. And then you wonder why eventually the dog then like bites or something like that. So that's the other side of it. I spoke a lot about all of that, kind of just that playfulness from dogs. You know, the jumping up, the wagging the tails, even licking and whatever. But there's the other side of it where it can go quite badly, where you are allowing everyone and everything access to your dog. And then, you know, now this dog starts to associate kids with pain, or now this dog starts to associate dogs with pain and fear. So what your dog actually needs, a dog with poor recall doesn't need to be taken to a field and let off the lead. They need training. They need a reason to want to come back to their owner. Yeah? So building up those positive reward histories, those positive associations. They need just a very well-structured, well-rounded reward history, yeah? They need to be able to stop self-rewarding. Remember we spoke about self-rewarding, where the dog is running up to, you know, chasing squirrels. Even in the secure field, it's rewarding itself. It's chasing squirrels, chasing cats, chasing anything else. Running up and down the fence alongside another dog. You know, the fence, a dog could be on this side of the fence, on this side, another on this side of the fence. They're running up and down, self-rewarding. Scavenging, self-rewarding. Getting stroked by other people, seeking reward elsewhere. Barking at joggers, bikers, horses, whatever it might be. Your dog is finding that behavior really rewarding. So we need to put things in place to stop your dog being able to self-reward so successfully, so much so that the dog doesn't need to come back to you. secure fields are a great tool, but that's what they are. They're a tool, yeah? And timing definitely matters. When is your dog at the point where you think, do you know what? My dog's ready to go off the lead. I feel like, you know, I've successfully dealt with its prey drive. I've successfully, you know, dealt with these barking behaviours. I've dealt with just all these things that were a hindrance before. And what all these things that were making it an issue to let your dog off the lead. You feel like you've dealt with all of this, but you know, you're still worried about letting your dog off the lead. So a secure field, excellent tool to use to test out how you've actually got on with your dog's recall practice. But that is what they are. They are a tool. They are not the answer. Yeah, I hope that was helpful in understanding why you might be struggling with recall, and two, why secure fields are just not the place to just let your dog off the lead whilst you're in training. If you need any help rescuing your dog's recall, give me a call. I will leave my information, and yeah, you can give me a call and we can have a chat. I hope that helps. Thank you. Good luck.